Shadows. Chapter 3. The laughs start fading, and so do their brains. The door slammed shut behind them, and the room was eerily silent. The only sound was the creak of the old house and the echo of their own nervous breathing. Bilal, Rayan, Mazen, and Skeleton stood frozen, staring at the door like it might suddenly sprout legs and walk off. "I think we really made the house mad now," Rayan whispered, looking around. "I mean, who wouldn't be upset after a bad Yelp review and a ghost pizza joke?" Mazen tried to keep the mood light, but his voice cracked. "Yeah, maybe it's going to charge us for the joke now. Haunting fee, $100. Skeleton grinned. "Or maybe it'll bill us for the ghost Wi-Fi we tried to get. I bet it's premium, too." They all laughed, but the laughter felt a little too nervous. The house felt different now, like something was in the air, like the spooky vibes were seriously getting stronger. Mazen cleared his throat. "Okay, the mouse was funny, but there's definitely something not right here." Suddenly, a loud scraping sound echoed from the dark room ahead. It sounded like nails on a chalkboard, but louder and worse. They froze. Was that the wind?" Rayan asked, but his voice was trembling. "No way," Bilal said, his voice shaking a little. "Wind doesn't scrape like that. This house is having a meltdown." Skeleton raised an eyebrow. "Wind? Please, wind doesn't have nails." They took another step, but before anyone could say anything else, there was a thud. It sounded like something heavy had just hit the floor in the next room. "Okay, I'm done," Mazen said, taking a few steps back toward the door. "I just wanted some snacks. This place is like the worst horror movie ever." But before they could run, the door slammed shut again. Then silence. They all stared at the door in shock. No way out now. Then, from the corner of his eye, Rayan saw it, a shadow moving on its own across the wall. "Did anyone else see that?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Skeleton looked around, his face pale. "You mean the huge shadow that was definitely not there a second ago?" "Yeah, that one," Rayan nodded. The room grew colder. The shadows seemed to stretch longer, like they were trying to grab them. Suddenly, Bilal's flashlight flickered, then died completely. It went out with a pop, leaving them all in complete darkness. There was a soft laugh in the air. It wasn't loud or menacing, but it was enough to make their blood run cold. It sounded like a ghost trying to remember how to laugh, but failing miserably. "Okay," Mazen said, backing away. "No more jokes. I don't want to be on the ghost's bad list. It sounds like it's already got a grudge against us." Skeleton folded his arms, looking unimpressed. "It's just a shadow. How bad could it be?" Scrape, scrape. The sound of something moving in the darkness was getting closer. "Yeah, sure, it's just a shadow," Rayan said. "A shadow with very bad manners." Then, just as they were starting to think this was definitely not the place for a comedy show, the scraping got louder. It wasn't just on the walls anymore. It was moving around them. "Okay, I really think it's following us now," Bilal said, his voice cracking. "Maybe we should have left the Yelp review after the visit." Mazen grabbed the flashlight again, shaking it like it would work if he just gave it enough attitude. Come on. Please work." Click! The flashlight flickered to life for half a second before dying again. Skeleton groaned. "That flashlight is worse than my aunt's Wi-Fi. I swear it works just enough to disappoint you." Mazen sighed. "I just wanted to survive this and eat some chips." Suddenly, the shadow lurched toward them with a terrible growl. "Ah!" They all screamed at once. Skeleton jumped so high he almost hit the ceiling. The shadow was right there, inches away, its cold, rusted breath on their necks, but they couldn't do anything but scream and try to get away, except there was no way to escape. Mazen took one last deep breath. Okay, let's just make the best of it. Worst case, we're ghost snacks. Best case, we get a cool story for the next time we see a therapist." Bilal turned to him with wide eyes. "Did you just say ghost snacks?" "Yep," Mazen said, still backing away from the shadow. "We'll probably end up on some ghost's dinner menu. At least we'll be the funny snacks." The shadow reached out, and they screamed one last time before everything went black. To be continued